think the answer is being present, being consistent, being who you say you are, doing what you say you're going to do. It's about trust and relationship. At the end of the day, these kids have experienced trauma, abandonment, pain, loss, and more loss. Right. Yeah. And so who are you to come into their life and tell them how to do things much better? It is an invitation. If you get an invitation from them to be a part of their journey, then that is a big deal. That's a really big deal. And then from there, you develop that relationship of love, consistency, presence, and showing them that you're there and available.
I love that. So the best thing to cultivate that soil for their heart is, you said, presence,
yes,
consistency,
yes,
authenticity,
yes,
obviously wrapped all around love.
Oh, wrapped around love. And then on the side, you praying like crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's not forget that part.
Let's not
forget that part.
That part. You are praying, spending time with God, seeking God, seeking his direction and how to do this, what to do, how to penetrate that kid's heart, like all of those things. God will show you. Yeah. If God brought that young person into your life for a reason, God will equip you to do what needs to be done.
Yeah, I love that. All right, let's move on to part tres. Tres is, so we talked about seeing myself, which is basically your story, seeing others, how God sees them. And then part 3 is really about you seeing yourself, right? Or how you see life. And I think that section actually had a lot of, I think, really great encouragement for those who are in youth ministry. But I think you say that it starts with the realization of who you are and who you are not.
Right.
Right. How did that process go for you?
Well, if he's the great I am, we're the great I am not. Right. I think when I tried to do it all by myself, right, and it failed, that's when I realized who I was and who I wasn't. And I think it's very important to know what your role is. You are not Jesus. When I moved into that neighborhood, God told me, I mean, clear as day, I did not ask you to go in and save that neighborhood. I already did that. Those are my people. I haven't abandoned them, right? This is my work. This is my job. So know your role, know your place, and know who you are in Christ.
Like, you're not bringing God into the neighborhood. He's already there.
He's already there.
Saying like, it's about time you showed up.
Right. I'm just joining what he's already doing.
I love that.
Right.
I love that. So then in that joining then, part 4, you talk about seeing hope.
Seeing
hope in the work that you're doing. And you said something I really love. You said building relationships with high-risk youth is a process that requires great commitment, but building together with high-risk youth is a privilege that requires great humility. I love that so much.
I wrote that?
You wrote that. Can you believe it? That's amazing.
Sometimes you just don't realize how gifted you are.
So tell our listeners, what does actually building together look like? Because I think that might be one of the most important concepts in your book, actually. What does building together with high-risk youth look like?
It starts with, again, knowing who you are, knowing who you aren't, knowing your role, and understanding that you are not in control of this child's life, right? God is in control, and that young person is in control of the choices that they make. So building together is about knowing your place. It's about being invited into those spaces, right? And being humble enough to realize this young person, especially a high-risk one, actually sees value in what I'm bringing to their life.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of times we're like, oh, well, I'm this, I'm that. You should let me in your life. But actually, the young person should be able to see that value themselves. And I consider that a great honor and a great privilege.
Yeah. And I think part of it is too, like I work with leaders and even people in my church I have a real passion for helping people discover their purpose, right? And who God created them to be. And I think too many times we want to come with the answer and the plan, like for that person, right? Oh, I see this. This is the path for you. This is the pathway out, where we're imposing basically what we think is going to work for their life.
Exactly.
Instead of, I love what you say here, building together or working together to discover, well, what does God want for their life?
Exactly.
Because it may not look anything like what we think for it.
And most of the time, it doesn't look like it at all, right? And if God can speak to you, why do you think that he can't speak to your young person as well? In many different ways, not just through you. I mean, I also talk about how we can't have a grip on these kids as like, this one belongs to me and I'm the only one that can minister to them, right?
Yeah.
And so letting them know who they are and discovering who they are requires being surrounded by a lot of us, right?
Yeah.
A lot of positivity, a lot of people that can see them for who they are, that they invite into their life. Again, if a young person invites you into their life, that is a very big deal.
Yeah, I love that.